Alright, thank you for doing a practice essay at better TOEFL scores for one of my TOEFL writing lessons. Let's take a look at your essay. So I think this essay will score well, but I don't think it's going to get the highest score. So the purpose of my feedback right now is to give you an idea on what you can do to make this a perfect essay, to make it score higher than what it is. So let's take a look at the essay, beginning with the introduction. People have gone to school hundreds of years ago. Usually people do this to get more knowledge. They think we can rephrase a question to be, for what reasons do they need the knowledge? In my opinion, we can classify these reasons into two basic ones, which are the love of knowledge in one or more fields, or the need of more income and society prestige. Okay, first of all, with your introduction, I like the topic statement where you basically introduce your essay with two key points. So love of knowledge of one or more fields, or the need of more income, society, prestige. So basically you've organized your essay into two key points, or two reasons why people go to school. So that's good. Second paragraph. As it is one of their habits, a lot of people love to have deep knowledge in their field. Their lives have been dedicated for teaching and studying the different sciences. They believe that in this way they can satisfy themselves. University professor is an example of this type of people. He can earn much more than what he is earning from his job, but he prefers to work in the universities or research centers. Another example is the religion man. They believe that to be closer to the God, they need to study and understand more his religion and teach it to the others. Okay, here, the beginning is your topic statement. I like this. This idea introduces the first key point that you mention in your thesis, which is a love of knowledge. Now, the only problem here is you need to go a little bit deeper than what you're going here. You said university professors an example of this type of people. You should probably give an example and say, for example, a biology professor who wants to discover more about the theories of evolution. And the biology professor, in order to learn more about evolution, works in the university or the research center. So if you mentioned a specific university in a specific field, that would be a little bit better than what you're doing right now, because you already mentioned a general statement about a knowledge in one or more fields. I think when you get to the second paragraph, it's important to give an example of a specific type of field and a professor in a type of field who loves knowledge in that area. So you're not going quite deep enough in that area. All right, let's go to your third paragraph. The second reason of going to the school is to increase their income and get an important position in their society. Usually, the educated people get more salaries than the non-educated ones. A lot of low-level workers have no education, while the university degree holders belong to the middle and high-level workers. For example, in my country, many students were working in restaurants or as taxi drivers before they got their degree and started another work, such as an accountant, engineer, or lawyer. Also, the educated people are studying other masters, I think you mean here master's degrees, to increase their income. For example, I'm studying an MBA right now to get a promotion and to get more salary. This paragraph is actually stronger, I think, than your previous paragraph, especially when you get into the mention of taxi drivers, accountants, engineers, lawyers, and even your own personal example of getting your MBA degree so you can get a promotion and to get more salary. That's very strong. So I like how you support your ideas with details here. So this third paragraph is much better than your second paragraph. Okay, at the end, let's take a look at your conclusion. The conclusion is not the most important part of your TOEFL essay, but nevertheless you want to restate or summarize the key points. So you said, as a result, people attend the schools either to be respected among themselves and the society, or to earn more money from their jobs or businesses. Almost. The only problem here is in your conclusion, you don't tie the second point here. You talked about loving to have a deep knowledge in their field, but you basically mentioned to be respected among themselves and the society, or to earn more money. I think this actually connects back to the point in your third paragraph, so your conclusion doesn't completely connect everything together. So this is, I think, the main reason why you're not going to score the highest score possible is you have some problems connecting. I think the conclusion doesn't connect back to the rest of the essay as well as it could, and you need to put more examples, I think, in paragraph 2. Now also in the essay there are some word choice problems. There are some grammatical issues that could score, that will result in you scoring a little bit lower, but these grammatical errors are not problems, they're not really things that will interfere in your ability to be understood. So let's take a look at an example of some problems that you might be having with grammar and word choice. How about you get to this paragraph here, you say university professor. I think you mean a university professor is an example of this type of, I think here you want to say person, not people. How about another one? You have another example is I think instead of the noun here you want to say religious man. Another example is a religious man. And then you might connect, instead of saying they, that gives you too simple grammar. You might say another example is a religious man who believes that to be closer to God, he or she needs to study and understand more of his religion and then teach it to others. So you have some word choice and some grammatical issues, but the good news is they don't seriously interfere, I think, in your ability to be understood. Now, whenever I give practice TOEFL scores, especially writing scores or better TOEFL scores, it's important that I look at the rubric that the TOEFL IBT human raters will use, and what I want to do right now is to determine where your essay best fits. So let's start at the lowest one. You're definitely higher than 2, but 3 says an essay at this level is marked by one or more of the following: addresses a topic and task using somewhat developed explanations, exemplifications, and or details. Displays unity, progression, and coherence, though connection of ideas may be occasionally obscured. May demonstrate inconsistent facility in sentence formation and word choice that may result in lack of clarity and occasionally obscure meaning. May display accurate but limited range of syntactic structures and vocabulary. I think you're a little bit higher than this, but I don't think you're in the 5 area either. Let's take a look at 5. It says an essay at this level largely accomplishes all of the following: effectively addresses a topic and task. Yes, you did do that. Is well organized and well developed, using clearly appropriate explanations, exemplifications, and or details. I'm going to say no. I think the conclusion could be better connected to the rest of the essay. I think paragraph 2 needs more details and examples to support your idea. I think if all of your paragraphs were like paragraph 3, you would be in much better shape than where you are right now. I think the third thing says displays unity, progression, and coherence. I think the coherence is very good with the introduction, paragraphs 2 and 3, but the conclusion doesn't connect back as well as it could. Progression, I think, hurts a little bit because you're not going deep enough in paragraph 2, so I'm going to say no with that. And displays consistent facility in the use of language, demonstrating syntactic variety, appropriate word choice, and idiomaticity, though it may have minor lexical or grammatical errors. I'm going to say you're not consistent. You do have a number of very small problems in word choice. For example, you might say religion instead of religious. You might say person or people instead of person. Syntactic variety, I think you can improve a little bit in your variety of grammatical structures that you're using. You need to combine some of your shorter sentences and use connectors, maybe like who, maybe which, maybe that kind of area. I'm going to say that I think your essay comfortably fits in the 4 area, the lower version of 4. It says here, addresses a topic and task well, though some points may not be fully elaborated. So I think you could have elaborated more in paragraph 2 when you discuss the university professor. You have here is generally well organized and well developed, using appropriate and sufficient explanations, exemplifications, and or details. So generally you're doing a pretty good job there. Displays unity, progression, and coherence, though it may contain occasional redundancy, digression, or unclear connections. You're not really digressing anywhere. I don't think you're being too redundant and repeating things unnecessarily. But the unclear connection idea, especially with the conclusion, you can improve a little bit, I think, in that area. Displays facility in the use of language, demonstrating syntactic variety and range of vocabulary, though it will probably have noticeable occasional noticeable minor errors in structure, word form, and or use of idiomatic language that do not interfere in meaning. That's the good thing with your writing, your essay. It doesn't really have any problems which interfere in meaning, but you do have a number of problems in word form. So I think you could improve in that area a little bit. So your score right now is right around 4.0 out of 5. So keep up the good work.